Good afternoon. I'm calling to order the Retirement Board of Allegheny County, and our first item is to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Walt, could you take roll call?
Yes. Frank DeCristofaro. Here. Sarah Inamorado. Kimberly Joyce.
Here.
Jennifer Liptak.
Here.
Corey O'Connor.
Amy Wise here on behalf of Corey O'Connor.
Sarah Roca. Here. President Bruslers.
Here. Are there any public commenters?
No public comment.
The next are the president's updates. We had a working group on plan funding and modernization meeting this morning at 10:30 a.m. And we'll get into that a little bit more later in the meeting. We also had an executive session that was held at 11:15 this morning with the general partner and CFO from iNetworks. I have no other updates at this time. What would you like to read us the items for board approval?
Yes. The first is a motion to approve the board meeting minutes from the August 21st, 2025 board meeting.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. 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 Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries.
Next item on the agenda is a motion to accept the financial statements, which include the pension fund assets, the statement of changes in plan net assets, and the RBAC balance sheet for July of 2025.
Motion. Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? The motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is the applications, and this is a motion to approve the following September 2025 applications. The applications have been filed with the Retirement Office for pension approval by the board. There are 8 early voluntary, 19 full retirement, and 1 disability.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Next, we have our director's reports. Starting off, Walt Szymanski for the Allegheny County Employees Retirement System Director.
Thank you very much. If you turn to the Director's Status Report tab of your board books, I will highlight some areas on the dashboard. Retiree payroll was up 4.28% at $12.6 million as compared to almost 12.1 last year. Contributions are up 6.11%. Contributions refunded are down. New membership is up and number of refunds is down too, so that correlates to contribution refunds. We have our membership as of the prior month ending, active employees at 7163, payees at 5465, which are the retirees, alternate payees and survivors, and then 380 deferred vested members. If you turn to the next page, retirements are almost right on the same target as last year. It's down 1.32% at a total of 220.25 this year. Pension estimates, once again, will be relatively high until it balances out with the new software moving forward in the next year. The BlackRock Liquidity Fund, we just did a liquidation of $6 million, so come next board meeting, it'll probably be completely liquidated down. That's to cover retiree payroll for September. We only had 1 capital call since the prior board meeting with Blackstone Tactical Opportunities Fund 2 for $4,667. And I have the office budget as of August 31st, 2025. Are there any questions on the dashboards? Okay. I have a couple of board updates. The audit RFP was reviewed. The committee consisted of myself, Lori Chirillo, and Brian Gabriel. We are going to be recommending that Kate Sabatini be retained for a 5-year contract. The proposal is included in here for review. I will not ask for a vote today. That would be more in November before the new budget comes out with the proposed budget for 2026, which also next bullet point, the draft budget I'll have for the November board meeting for the board to review. The Retirement Office is also going to be speaking at the ACRA's annual meeting on October 15th. We're anticipating also having a presentation by Coriac to discuss the new retiree portal portion of the software to give a demonstration to the retirees there. Another update is we just recently posted an administrative assistant position. It is on the county's HR page, and we'll be posting that to our page probably before the end of the week as well. And that's all I have for updates for this month.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Next, we have our solicitor, Brian Gabriel, with his solicitor's report and updates.
Thank you, Erica. The solicitor's report is current as of September 11, 2025. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those now. And if there are no questions, the second item under the solicitor's section today is a motion or a request for a motion to approve the securities litigation policy. That's resolution 20251. That draft was circulated with last month's materials. There were just a few cleanup edits between then and now. Nothing that needs to be discussed here, so that was the next item.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of a motion to approve our securities litigation policy resolution 2025-1, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? The motion passes.
The next and final item under my report is a motion, request for a motion to approve the proposal for the working group on plan funding with SME Consulting for an amount not to exceed $75,290, which follows the RFP process and follows the meeting this morning of the working group.
And I'll speak on that a little bit before we hear the motion. The working group on plan funding and modernization had issued a public RFP and advertised it through various channels in, I think, early August or late July. It's open for a 5-week period. We received an application from SME Consulting. It has been reviewed and vetted, and the references have been contacted. The working group had a Teams call with the principal this morning, and the working group recommends moving forward with this contract. So would someone like to make a motion for approving this proposal?
Motion.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? The motion carries. Is that everything, Brian?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Speedy meeting, Chris Brokaw and Tim Walters from Mariner Institutional are up next.
All right, so the first item on the agenda under Mariner is a motion to approve the IPS dated September 18th, 2025.
Yes.
And this is an update to our investment policy statement that reflects a lower private equity, higher public equity?
Public equity and fixed income. So you go from 20 to 9%. You can see this on page 12 of 21.
Under the reports Mariner section.
Yes. And the U.S. equity is now 25.5, the target. The private equity is 9, and that, again, is down from 20, and core fixed income 18.5. So up about 3%, and then U.S. equity up 8%.
Can I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Hearing a motion in a second, is there any discussion? All in favor to approve the IPS dated September 18th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries.
Next is a motion to approve the consent to assignment of the contract for CS McKee.
And this starts on page 1, and essentially CS McKee's parent was acquired by another investment management firm. The operation of CS McKee here down the street, or actually they moved to the North Hills, will continue the same. So we recommend, our firm recommends to all of our clients to sign the consent, which just allows CS McKee to continue to do the same work that they're doing now.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? The motion passes.
And on that final item, I will just note that we're continuing to work with iNetworks on a request that they had to extend the contract for their fund, iNetworks Opportunity Fund 1. So we're going to continue to gather information and report back to the board.
Great, thank you. And just for everyone, that is the topic that we met with in executive session, iNetworks. The plan has assets in a few funds of theirs, and this is the oldest one that we invested in 2012.
2012 is the day of the fund.
Okay.
I believe the board invested in the fund in early 2013.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mariner? All right, next we have our actuarial consultants from Acrisure, Brad Rigby and Amanda Volk, and not Brad Rigby, and Todd Gordecki. And there's Brad Rigby sitting this one out from the stands. So thank you all for being here. We look forward to the information you will share with us today.
Okay. All right, so if you go to the tab for the Acrisure report, today we'll be going over some updated projections with the most recent assets. We'll also be giving a data update for the 1/1/2025 data. We've also included some historical information and what we presented at the June meeting regarding the various contribution analysis. But before we jump into everything, we always like to turn to page 2 for the trustees' goals. Just to make sure we're all in alignment, today when we're presenting the projections, our focus is going to be on assets and the contribution. Short term, we have to reach $1 billion in assets, and also to potentially limit contribution increases in the future. So that'll be our main focus as we go through the projections today. So if you flip to page 4, go through some of our insolvency projections. The bottom chart shows April 30th, 2025. This is the one that you most recently saw when we presented these back in June. And then the top one reflects the same exact thing, and all we did was update assets for June 30th, 2025 of this year. Before jumping into the projections, just want to get you a little bit familiar with the charts again. So if you take a look on the left, we have the market value of assets. So this is the lines represent your assets now and then projected into the future. The bottom represents a 50-year projection starting in 2024 going out through 2074. The bottom chart and the top chart have a few different lines on them. Just to go through the top one, and we'll just go through a little bit how it's different from the bottom. The baseline is that blue color, so that's your current contribution of 11%. And then the other one that's more of a brown color, that shows a contribution percent of 16.75%. As you can see for the baseline, based on June 30th, 2025 assets, the top chart, the fund is projected to be insolvent roughly in 2041. But if you update the contributions to 16.75%, we don't project the fund becoming insolvent. This is a little different than the one below. Initially with April assets, we were projecting the fund to become insolvent in 2040. So with positive assets, we are now projecting it to be 1 year later in 2041. Assets are projected right now at a 10% return, whereas your assumption is 7%. So that's where that is coming from. The other one is 16.75. You can see this is a little different than if you look below at the same colored line at 17. That's because every time we get updated assets, we look to see if that can be adjusted at all to remain solvent. So we look at various contribution percentages typically going up and down by 25 basis points. And with a positive asset return, we could now bump that down to 16.75% to stay solvent. Any questions on the insolvency projections?
No. Thank you.
You sounded sad not to have a question.
Oh, no, it was, insolvency makes me sad.
Okay.
The other set of projections we have prepared for you today still focuses on insolvency, but it kind of walks through more of the details surrounding it. So once again, we have the most recent assets on the top. This is June 30th, 2025, and what you saw before on the bottom for April 30th.
Which page are you on, please?
Oh, sorry, 5.
Oh. Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Erica. Just to get reacclimated with these charts, since we know you only see them a few times a year. On the left-hand side, we have what is the expected, well, it's just a number amount in thousands that's going to correlate to expected benefit payments and contributions. Once again, below we have projections. This is for 40 years of projections we have. There's a few different, so you can see that there's bars as well as lines. The bars are your expected benefit payments. The reason why they're color-coded is it's based on the current population. So for instance, blue is your current in-pays. As you can see, that decreases as you go forward. That's just your in-pays, I guess, mortality going forward, to put it nicely. Similarly, we have your terminated vesteds in green and your current actives. So this is just showing them all moving into retirement in the future and taking over in place of the current retirees. If you look at the top part of the bars, you can see that it is growing, which means your expected benefit payments and your expected payments to those retirees are to grow over time. This is typically because there's lower benefits for past benefits, but we know as salary grows, so do benefits. So that is why that is growing over time. The lines represent the contributions needed to fund these benefit payments. So there's a few different lines on here. The one that is in green, that is the county's contribution. The one that's red, you can see that starts around 2040. That is the member contribution that's held steady at 11%. And then the black line on top is the sum of those two, so you can see those combined going through. So just as we were showing before, we're showing the insolvency starting at 2040. I have some numbers for you just to put this a little bit more into tangible rather than a chart. So for instance, just to baseline us, in 2025, the total contribution is roughly $97 million. Half of that is the county, and roughly $163 million are going out currently in retirement benefit payments. So roughly 59% of the current benefit payments are being covered by the contributions coming in. The rest need to be paid from the trust. Going out to 2039, this is the year before insolvency is hit, based on our projections. At this point, the total contributions is around $111 million, half of that still being the county. At this point, benefit payments are now roughly $239 million. So that is only roughly 47% of the contributions covering the amount that's going out for benefit payments. Jump forward 1 year to 2040. The total needed would be $224 million, and the total benefit payments is $242 million. The reason why that isn't quite in alignment yet is because there's still some trust assets there to pay out the benefit payments, but this will be the remainder of the trust. Any year going forward after that, you would just have to be paying out the benefit payments that, it'll be a pay-as-you-go system, so the benefit payments will be paid out according to how many are needed to be paid. So the county will need to be contributing based on that number. So in 2041, that number is $243 million, and when you add on expenses and other costs, the county, the total contribution will be roughly $250 million, and the county's portion of that would be $192 million at that time. This carries pretty consistently consistently through the rest of the graph, as you can tell.
The minor difference between the black line and the total benefit payments as you get past the insolvency date is just the difference between the benefit payments, and the county would also be responsible for covering administrative expenses.
Any questions? No.
Okay.
So the next couple of sections are really just information that we first provided in June. And we just wanted to provide it again in case anyone had any thoughts after leaving that meeting and had questions that they didn't get a chance to ask in June. I don't intend to go through all of these because we did that in June, but if anybody has any questions, we're here to answer them. Anything?
No.
Okay.
We used up all of our questions this morning in
Good.
in the
Okay.
executive session and working group.
So just briefly, on the 2025 data, we collected data from the county, I believe in July, started working through it, realized that we were going to need some additional information that Coriac needed to run for us, and they were able to provide that to us in early September. We've got all that data loaded and are currently in the process of kind of finalizing our analysis, and we anticipate working through that final data and getting an assumption study wrapped up in the next, is the next meeting November? By the November meeting. And that's all we have.
And so in November, would we potentially be looking at approving a set of assumptions or discussing changing and or approving assumptions? We're getting a yes from Brad in the audience.
Yeah, we can provide that ahead of time so that the board has a chance to review it. And yeah.
Okay. And then in December, we'd be seeing the actual like valuation report. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions or anything else with Acrisure? No? Thank you.
Great, thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. I have a couple new business items. We will be forming a contribution committee, including members Roca and Wise and Liptak, so thank you for your service. We will also be forming, probably at the November or December meeting, a COLA working group or committee. That policy is expired, so we'll look at reviewing that. And is there any other new business or items anyone wants to discuss? All right, our next meeting is November 20th, 2025. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Motion. There's a second. The meeting's adjourned. Have a great day.